Hi, guys, and welcome to Whole Class Reading Strategies. In this session, I hope to help practitioners who want to have new strategies to use in their classroom. It's definitely appropriate for teachers teaching anywhere from EYFS, so early years, all the way to secondary. Just make a few adaptations as you see fit. So my name's Adrienne Waller. I'm originally from the United States. I love helping practitioners, educators who want to become better at their craft. You might have found me on my website, worldwideeducator.org. If not, please feel free to visit and check out all the other resources that I have there. Other videos, other shareable folders, tons of information there. Please check it out very soon. So today what we'll be going over are strategies you can use before, during, and after reading either a text from a basal, so a textbook, or after reading before, during, or after reading actually authentic literature. Whichever it is you're using in your classroom, these strategies you should be able to adapt to fit your needs. We're going to skip introductions, but feel free to email me and introduce yourself or leave something in the comments section. All right, before reading activities. So, a prediction sheet is essentially something very easy to help students improve in making predictions. They answer the questions on the left first, and that's where they're making their predictions. Later, they'll use the right side to actually confirm their predictions, but it builds interest. Students really get better at deciding what might happen in the story. What's a reasonable prediction? And enhancing how they think about the story, they actually tend to listen to the reading a lot better when they've made a prediction first. So you see this section is on the top. This is pretty standard. I don't change it except for the story title and the author. The rest, I think, thinking about the genre is really important. Students need a lot of time to kind of do that to perfect it. And thinking about the setting. So these are questions that are generally text-dependent questions, although they're making predictions. They should be checking these later during the actual reading. And you'll see the questions are things that also help them to answer the question about what will happen in this story. As they read these questions and think about them, they make better predictions about what might happen in this story and why things are going on and what's going on. Also, predicting words, especially if they're going to be reading independently, is really, really important because it helps them improve their decoding. If they can get the beginning blend, a lot of times because they've seen or thought about what words may be in the text, they're more likely to accurately decode them. So I'd like to also do a PowerPoint presentation on vocabulary words to help students. If I'm teaching, like I've taught in a predominantly Arabic speaking class, I like to have the word in Arabic as well. You'll see as student friendly as possible definition, as well as the word used in a sentence and highlighted. And if possible, improve. It's really hard to have pictures because how do you have an image for prove? But in embarrass, it's a lot easier. So I have multiple pictures so that it really helps students with their understanding. So those are strategies for before reading. We're going to hop right into during reading activities. So again, is this prediction sheet. Now the students are confirming, was that prediction correct? Yay, nay. If not, what is the correct answer? Or was I kind of correct, but kind of wrong? And you'll see this is the part that really helps strengthen their prediction making. And it really engages them during the reading because they're checking, ooh, was I right? Was I wrong? Is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? Then I like to ask lots of questions of my students so that they're constantly thinking and reading. So if I have them doing the prediction sheet, I may not do as many questions, or I may have the prediction sheet questions be my questions that I use. It's really up to you. But you see that I've shared a few. We're going to just walk through each of them pretty briefly. Stand up, hand up, pair up is literally that. The student stands up, they put their hand up, and when they high five, they have their partner. That's who they're paired up with for that question. If they get high fived by a student and they don't want to be in their group, I tell them that's okay. You'll stick with them for this one, but on the next question, you can pick somebody else. As long as you're asking a plethora of questions, students generally don't mind too much. Inner circle, outer circle is just like that. I normally start with forming the inner circle, and I let them know who their partner is going to be. So the blue circle I do first. I have all those students make a circle. Their backs are basically to each other and they're facing outward. Then their partners, who are the red, come partner and face their partner who's blue. And then that's where the first question is. After that, I ask another question. And the red circle moves two to the right or two to the left, one to the right, one to the left, whatever I like, so that it's constantly changing the partner so that people are talking to new people. And a lot of times I'll have my lower kids on the inside so they don't have to worry about moving or confusing anything. And the kids who I know might need to move a little bit more, I'll keep them on the outside. Back to back, similar to stand up, hand up, pair up, is literally what it says. I let the students stand up. They freely pick a partner. Once everybody's matched up, because they're back to back, I know that they're ready. If there is an odd person, I'll partner up with that person, or I'll sometimes let them do three. It depends on if I need to be taking more notes about student conversation. Mixing to music. This is kind of like the musical chairs, but it's nobody's out. Essentially, you play the music, they get to move about. When the music stops, if there's one person near them, they talk to them. If it's two, then it'll be a group of three. They talk about whatever the question is. In all of these strategies, I try and have the questions shown on a PowerPoint big so that the students can look back at it. I include sentence stems to help them answer the questions, or word bank to help support answering the question. Then four corners is where there are four possible answers. The students pick the corner that they think represents their answer. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. Who's the best crayon? They go to their corner, and then in that they discuss why they picked that crayon. Or it could be something with a right or wrong answer. Alternatively, you could do you decide or agree disagree, where instead of having four corners that they stay in, they just move to the left or to the right to signify their answer and then discuss there. Using graphic organizers, I think, is super important during and after reading for students to help organize information. I knew for this activity, for this book, I was going to have my students doing some writing. So it was really important that I gave them something to organize with the characters, to think about who those characters are and some of like their kind of personality traits and things that describe them. So that's how this organizer was. But you could use a Venn diagram, a T-chart, a flow chart. There's tons of graphic organizers, but just be mindful of picking one that really reflects what helps students in the end, whatever your end goal is, and matches to the type of reading that they're doing. All right, we have after reading strategies. I love to connect to other genres. So looking at, we're reading fiction, which The Day the Crayons Quit is, what nonfiction can I bring in there? So you see here, it's how crayons were actually invented. And so kind of getting that background knowledge helps them, and it could help them later in the next activity that I'm going to show you about. But really supports understanding, and you can do it both ways. If you're reading nonfiction, you can bring in a fictional story that's similar or related to the topic that you're studying. So then we have a storyboard, and in the storyboard, a lot of these questions I keep the same each time, but others I change. So like this one, I may change from give examples to adjectives to give examples to similes, alliteration, whatever I might be studying, I'll have it reflective of that. But author's purpose, I generally keep because students really struggle with this, so they need a lot of what I call at-bats, a lot of practice with that idea. And then 10-word summary, students like to go on and on and on until these long, elaborate, basically they write the story themselves. When you make the students consolidate that into about 10 words, they really are better able to understand the main idea of a text. So here we have 3 questions that for the most part I don't change, but this question I wanted to highlight just because as students, especially if you're doing standardized testing with multiple choice answers, as students actually write multiple choice questions, they get significantly better, a lot better, about how to answer those type of questions. They get how the writer might try and trick you or what things to look for, and just a lot stronger. Last on this storyboard is, this is the only question I generally change here. The other 2 are pretty standard, and This is about the vocabulary because each story is a little bit different. The vocabulary they have to think about is different. And this one I have them think about because this is like a multiple meaning word. Empty, like an empty glass, is very different than you feeling empty. If you're not familiar with raft, I'm going to tell you about it, but I absolutely love raft as a form of writing in the classroom. It's differentiated, it allows students to have a choice, it goes to different learning styles. There's so many great parts of it. So the R is for the role. Who is the student going to be? Are they going to be Duncan, the main character? Are they going to be a crayon? Are they going to be Duncan's teacher? Maybe the creators of crayon, whoever they might be. And then who are they writing to? Are they writing to a class of students? Are they telling Duncan something else? Who might be doing it? Maybe it's the creators of the crayon writing to Duncan because they're so disappointed in how his crayons are feeling. Then the format. Are they writing a letter? Is it a speech, a song? What else might it be? Sometimes I'll let the students even choose or suggest ideas of how they could actually write. Then last but not least is the topic. This is what they're talking about, what they're writing about. Generally, I keep this the same, but that's your choice. If you're great, go on and you have a lot of choice in even the topic section. But it's topic, it could connect everybody. And a lot of times I just leave that the same. It's a little bit easier and less confusing to my students. But that's what worked for me. I have all of these resources and many more on my Teacher Pay Teacher site. You can see all the different things that are included in this resource pack for the day the crayons quit. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. There's another video of the actual book, The Day the Crayons Quit. Someone made a great cartoon version of the book, so I really like to show that after having read the book. If you have questions, you can email me here. Unsplash.com is where most of my pictures come from. Free resource, actual photographers, really high quality pictures. And I start there before I do a Google image search because generally the pictures are a lot better and more artistic. So I think students like them and appreciate them a lot more in class. This is Slide Carnival. I absolutely love them as well. They have tons of different slide templates for Google Slides or PowerPoint. And Rewordify is just a great and awesome tool to use in differentiation. So check any of those out. Thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Adrienne Waller, and you can find me at worldwideeducator.org.